Hi, my name is VLAD Blood. I'm in tattoo business for almost 15 years. Before, for 13 years, I was a professional tattoo artist. And for the last 5 years, I'm more into producing tattoo machines. It was my decision to change my last name officially for Blood. A long time ago, my friends gave me this nickname and, well, I've always admired Captain Blood from the book because he was a successful pirate, a lucky guy who also managed to become a governor of Boston, just like me. A long time ago, when I was a little kid and lived in Birlova, I had a neighbor. That guy was a tattoo artist. He even used professional tools. They have a studio in the neighborhood. So somehow I managed to visit this guy to watch the work and, just hang out. As a result, he gave me a handcrafted tattoo machine one day as a gift. I wasn't at the top as a tattoo master. However, I was the fastest one among my colleagues in Russia. I always felt the interest for technical matters of the tattooing process more than to drawing stuff. It was the reason I started building my own machines. The speeds that I got didn't satisfy me. The thing is that 7-10 years ago in Moscow, no one could just plug in and make a line. It wasn't possible. Most stripes were built, not drawn. The technical part of tattooing was completely different. Occasionally, we have managed to find old American videos where they just plugged in and make lines, and it seemed to be stunning. Then I met my good friend Sasha Masolov, who was proficient with iron works, and with his guidance I could just take a small piece of iron, a rasp file, a saw, and just build a tattoo machine in almost 12 hours of work and huge corns in my hands. But this machine could already work, and surprisingly just like I wanted it to work. So after a couple of years of practicing, in 2007 and 2008, I managed to make a small party of machines, about 100 pieces, which was totally bought by my friends who liked using them. These machines were more complicated and hard to adjust than those we make at the moment. But even so, they were very efficient. It was my first push towards professional machine manufacturing. It was admitting that 100 people were satisfied by what I did. And more, I did it at first attempt. The place we're located right now has an interesting past. I lived here, made tattoos here, started building machines here. Let's make a short trip to our workshop. It's a showroom. We sell the machines here. It's almost empty because all of the stuff was packed into large boxes and went to Novosibirsk. We'll also be there in a week at the annual Tattoo Con. That's our Selfie Throne. You can make selfies here and put VLAD BLAD hashtags.
Дальше у нас начинается производство, у нас находится везде, кроме, наверное, кухни только. Вот, например,
here's our office, where we have kind of artistic atmosphere too. Something is packed, something is consolidated, something is stored, kept for conventions. In the corner there, we're making final assembling and customization. Here's our warehouse for customization. You may see we have a huge amount of materials. Only snake, frog, and other animal skins are over 20 positions. Well, other materials and covers too. That's our dog. It lives here sometimes. Main production location here. Right now we can see the adapters being assembled. Main assembling is held right at this table by my father-in-law Viktor Grigorievich. He's been with us for 4 years already. 5 years of tightening the screws just like it is needed. Here's the dry paint dock. And here's my favorite place in the workshop, the soldering station. An oxygen-hydrogen generator we've customized by ourselves to work in the most proper way needed. If I'm at the workshop, 90% of the time I'm by this device. For 2.5 years, I actually lived in the workshop. I was born in Moscow and had a place to live, and I didn't really have to live in the workshop, but it was kind of experiment. As I've read tons of smart books concerning time management, and just counted how much time I could save living at work. Well, I didn't have any rest, and I was exhausted. Although I've achieved a lot of stuff. At some time I could have gone to the bathroom in the night and then suddenly realize I'm in the workshop assembling a new machine. It made a huge effect on efficiency, but at the same time I was deadly tired. I won't recommend this to anyone now. Don't do that. You should separate the workspace from the space you're resting. And you shouldn't even visit the place you work in at nights. Today we'll make an interesting custom-made machine. It's been a while since I made stuff from gears and parts. Now it's the time. About 5 years ago, I got totally sick of making tattoos. I used to love it, but had enough. I had days when I got up, drawn stuff, and then made up to 3 tattoos a day. Some of them took about 6-7 hours. As the result, I got exhausted. I had my beloved hobby, playing with metal parts in my workshop, cutting and drilling, molding, etc. I had a lot of fun doing that, and also sold this stuff for a certain amount of money. And I was glad. The machine didn't screw with me as a client. I couldn't hurt it. It didn't want to come out and smoke. Well, I can name about 10 more features of the machine compared to a client. So one day, when I got completely sick of it all, I told all of the stuff I had that we're working for the last month and the studio is closed. My next step was to tell all of my clients that VLAD BLAD will never be a tattoo master and that they had a certain period to finish current tattoos. Not everyone managed to finish their works, but I've always been a rude guy, and if I told I was not a master anymore, there was nothing I could do, and I never did a single tattoo for money since then. Now we'll be making a brass soldering fix.
Это практически стандартная латунь, может быть, чуть более только текучая. А это наш...
And this our customized hydrogen generator.
Я стал делать...
I started making tattoo machines. I even had not a single person at my company. My wife helped me a lot at that time. She carried out the sanding process, I don't like routine work, like finding a courier box and sending it. I consulted the clients myself in VKontakte, took their contacts, orders, checked them all, bought the parts, materials and so on, learned dry paint, bought a burner, and carried out all the assembling and customization process all by myself. I just love soldering at high temperature. That's how ugly the base of the machine looks right after soldering.
Мне нужно будет закинуть в болтовку минут на 20. В принципе, ничего интересного нет, там просто будет 20 минут громыхать.
A bit later, we couldn't manage all of the work on our own. Thus, I've invited my old colleague administrator, who has worked at my studio before. And she took all the administrative stuff, like sending orders, talking to clients, and other non-artistic stuff I just couldn't do. Vlad is a really hard man to work with. He has a totally different courses every day. Every day a new task, and if you can't catch up, you aren't able to work properly. It's just about being proficient. A bit later, my father-in-law started to work with us. He appeared to be the best employee you could ever have. He can come at 9 a.m., go back home at 5 p.m. and stand up just a single time a day to have some tea. All the other time he tightens the screws perfectly. When I'm just tired of tightening same screws and nuts multiple times, he can do better even if there are 200 screws and nuts. At some time, he provided a lot of help I needed. Just after that, friends of my employees came. We invited people only when we actually interested in one. Lots of tattoo artists and painters worked with us who just customized machines just in order to try something new. I came to Vlad because I was interested in tattoos anyway, and I was interested in helping these people, just like that. And even 4 years ago, Vlad was a man who already knew what he should do in order to customize the machine, so he was the best employer I could imagine. Guys were looking for a helper into the workshop, a boy, only a male. But I decided I was an even better choice, and I can manage the work. I came, they hired me, and I'm just happy. Everything is new for me here. But as time passed, I learned things and acquired tons of skills. Guys are helping me, explaining details, some of which I discovered by myself. Even Vlad is always ready to help you manage the work. It is an important thing that a guy shouldn't be a master of any sort, just for him or her to be fully devoted to his work, to the department he belongs to, and wouldn't be distracted by some things that aren't connected to the job. Namely, you can earn your living by making tattoos. Vlad is really interested in that we don't have any connecting to tattoo business. I have more than 10 employees at the moment, and I'm more into building the system of cooperation inside the company, because a group of artists making stuff is bullshit. It would result as quality failures. You can't scale the business and develop it and make stuff I want to make.
Российскую компанию номер
Number one Russian company producing tattoo machines and inventory.
мы еще продавали
I'd also like to sell it
как бы на весь мир.
worldwide.
Дико довольны, хотели купить наш став.
То есть сборка
Assembling the order, sending it,
консультации,
consulting, emails, even with foreign clients.
Европа,
We have sent our inventory
странам
to many countries.
свое оборудование.
Машинки
We are sending the machines worldwide.
по всему миру ежемесячно.
About 15 machines monthly to Europe.
У нас есть некая карта.
We have kind of world map where we mark cities where the machines are shipped. And if you take a look at it, most of the product goes to US. Some of them even go to Australia, and we even have one shipped to Hawaii. That's why I am building a system right now. I want everything to work properly, in order to make the artist's design work assembled perfectly
Она была после этого
and adjusted perfectly.
настроена. Каждый винтик
Every screw would be tested, and all the springs would be checked for quality and not break.
чтобы они не ломались.
Все эти тачки
All of the machines, adapters, and instruments we make
делать,
are checked to quality issues.
чтобы это были действительно крутые машинки, изначально так и задумывалось.
They should work just like they were designed to work.
Но мы же
There were cases when Vlad changed his stuff totally. Not even a single person left.
оставлял все.
There were cases when he left the company at his employees' hands and then checked the sales analytics, which were totally bad.
Брал все в свои руки.
Then he came to the management, fired half of the staff, and employed new people.
Новый коллектив пытался, скажем, это все полностью
His goal is to build a system that would work without him.
определенную, скажем, систему, которая будет работать и без него.
And that's our aim now.
Значительную часть
Most of the routine work needs a proper approach and final quality.
года и качество
And my people make that happen.
Ну вот, теперь рама составлена.
Well, now, when the base is aged with our secret aging techniques, following step is to make it rust protective.
Достаточно
Lots of guys were complaining that some color schemes were stolen and so on.
цветовые сочетания и так далее. Другое дело,
But no one can point a finger at this.
может в это. И именно сочетание
For example,
позолоченные
a golden machine. A lot of builders were doing that.
было достаточно
I
много
just
этого билда.
added some colors.
Стал делать это сочетание, это цвета. Даже последние, наверное, 4-5 лет, то есть у нас уже достаточно много технологий прут. Как-то, например, технологии состаривания с дальнейшей там лакировкой, матовыми лаками и так далее. То есть это я сейчас начинаю сплошь и рядом видеть, причем на буржуйских тачках в том числе.
If you take a look at American builders, famous ones, they didn't do it for money first of all. They did it because they could, and their friends like what they did and wanted to purchase it. The geometries I use are over 100 years. I didn't build it from the start. I just made it look a bit more evil, added more performance. I just adjusted the sizes that would fit me.
После
Right after soldering,
всей красоты крайне.
the base is covered in varnish.
То есть то, что было
At first it was colored white, but after hitting, it became transparent.
прозрачным,
You can't see it, but the machine is still protected from rust and damage.
ржавчины и каких-то повреждений. В дальнейшем
Then we'll get all the part together, assemble, and adjust the machine.
настройка нашей машинки.
То, что сейчас делается, это уже
What we're doing now has no artistic components.
идет непосредственно.
It's just the routine work that just should be done in a good way.
Даже нельзя назвать, что были какие-то...
I can't say I had some idols. I just observed some styles, learned them, changed them too much.
Мне по дизайну
One time I liked what Seth Cifre did.
крутой
He's a really great master. All he does is expensive, rich, and awesome. And he's got a lot of taste.
естественно, Кейн.
And surely Aaron Kane.
Его машинками,
He and his machines are just amazing.
то есть с теми, которые он
Those kind of composite metals and other rare resources, they look just incredible.
вот этих вот слоистых металлов, когда все это было сделано в индивидуальном,
All handmade,
ну, они были сделаны в единственных экземплярах,
all in single model.
вручную, то есть это
I surely tried to make something better than Kane, make even something that would be the same, but I couldn't. And it's a rare situation when I can't do something if I want to. One of the features while manufacturing machines is speed. Speed for masters to make tattoos faster, for them not to be distracted by technical part, for them to spend all the time drawing.
сам процесс
Tattooing process is not artistic one.
татуирования должен быть максимально
It just should be fast and good in technique,
травматичным,
painless, and with great service.
клиент должен испытать минимально боли. Дальше
You should wrap the tattoo,
замотать, отпустить,
give instructions to the client,
рекомендации по
and some
уходу.
treatments.
А пока вы относитесь к
And if you treat this process as art
допускаете
and let some distraction interfere it,
то по сути
you're just a guy still in search of technology.
технология
You're like a builder who doesn't know how to build.
положить. То есть он то так его кладет, то так. Зачем?
It's too complicated to make it different every time,
Сказал, строительство
and the
дома,
client won't be really happy.
кирпичики будут как-то вот так произвольно лежать.
I'm fighting to make all the novices learn to use great tools.
Оборудование. Если индукция,
Induction is our best feature.
ею я так или иначе
I actually devoted 5 years of my life to it
и
and learned it as a real master.
поперек, знаю, где достать какие-либо.
I know where should I purchase materials and what to do with them.
С этим все
However, we had lots of interesting cases with the rotors.
Самое интересное,
The most interesting case was when an ideally manufactured motor that we ordered had magnets that worn out during time. We found that much later, when clients started to bring the machines they bought back.
потом было огромное
Then there was a ton of problems with colors, because we bought a really good in quality and expensive colors,
но,
but their centers were manufactured a bit badly.
как сказать,
So some pressure was present
это давило, и
and the color used to wear out quickly.
из-за того, что на него было чрезмерное давление. И это все вот эти проблемы,
All of these problems appeared with the most primitive rotor.
у которого только эксцентрики и даже нет никаких дополнительных систем преобразования движения. Некоторые вещи,
Some things can't be tested beforehand.
скажем так, на стенде. Сейчас мы
We found two main motors for machines.
у себя два типа двигателей. Это
One extremely powerful. We used it in the last series of machines we sold. It's called Avenger.
еще
And now we're making a small party with another motor, the aviation motor, that is widely used and made in Russia. Those that were placed on airplanes and rockets some time ago. Right now I'm learning to master direct drive motors.
что опять же наш конек.
Our best thing is induction.
И у меня есть идея, как
And what I want to achieve is to collaborate the hard strike with rotor drive,
вот прям
to make the strike hard, but with slight return.
вот именно роторный, чтобы удар на конце был не мягкий, а именно хлесткий и острый, но в то же время, чтобы он мог отходить, чтобы он слишком сильно не вдувал краску, если вдруг человек перетопит. То есть,
In
по
the
сути,
end,
получится тот
you'll
же
get a
самый
rotor, but more informative one.
машинки, многие
Some people
жалуются,
complain that they don't feel the machine.
когда она пробивает.
We want to make a hybrid that would be a better option with more speed and power.
При этом будет достаточно мощной и быстрой машинкой. Прямо сейчас у меня
Right now, I have a secret box with regulators, and we'll make this happen.
прототип тату-машинки на соленоиде. Там, где будет один соленоид, точно так же в виде ручки, и будут проходить колебания. В любом
In any
случае,
case, we'll reach the system with a handle
системе
and a
ручки
cartridge.
с картриджами.
I'm just like not ready for this at the moment. Just no interested in copying Western machines.
В основе какой-то российский аналог там полностью переданной машинки. То есть мною руководит
It's not about profit.
прибыль, а именно интерес. И
It's about masters being proud that they use quality Russian products.
та же самая.
About 2 years ago, we didn't have any pro team. Now it's quite strong, one of the best and largest among manufacturers in Russia.
Вот, родилась она из того, что у меня просто были...
It was made with my friends who liked my machines.
Они были достаточно уважаемыми мастерами. Соответственно, я им...
I gave my products to them, and in the end, they bought them. Finally, they advertised my products, and we decided to make a pro team.
Как это принято у модных буржуев, именно про-тим. Они мне очень сильно нравятся, потому что мы как бы со всеми практически дружим. То есть, ну я, по крайней мере, лично.
I would trust my tattoos to these guys at 100%. I'm frequently asked, how can I join the team? I have 3 main criteria. First, you should be a pro master. Second, you should be socially active, lots of social media.
Я вас никто нигде никогда не слышал. Ну, ребят, как бы, к сожалению, такой подход не подойдет в нашем случае.
And the third, we should like you. We are real friends with our masters. It should be a loyal guy, and we should have sympathy to him too. And communication should be easy.
То же самое, как и мы должны реализовывать их идеи достаточно легко.
Because we make design series for each pro rider.
И, соответственно, в данном случае тоже необходимо, чтобы мы могли договориться, потому что
Not all the artists' ideas can be fulfilled in metal.
реализовать.
And we should have good communication to understand each other.
Мы должны максимально сделать
We want them to like the product and recommend it.
друзьям этот дизайн как действительно сделанный, там, воплощенный им, а не как какой-то компромисс, который там Влад сделал там с его слов.
Some years ago, I had no real goals. There was one, to be the best custom tattoo machine manufacturer in the world. Well, I achieved it. We're making most of the custom machines in the world. No one else can make such amount. How to make it look good and work good at the same time? This was the goal I was proud to achieve.
Влад — это Влад.
Vlad is Vlad.
Ни одного человека нельзя записать какими-то определенными вообще словами, в зависимости от момента.
Он потрясающий.
He's an idea generator. He's the man that knows what he wants, and he can guide people to do that.
В это русло.
Влад знает, что...
Vlad knows what he wants. He knows how to do it. He makes great goals and strides to them, and everyone else follows.
Идет, и все идут за ним, потому что, в общем-то, верят и любят свое дело.
Vlad is just a bit strict. He's not into screaming at people, but he wants everyone to work.
Самое строгое
The worst thing he can tell to his employee
это
is,
почему
why before sleep I'm thinking of you and not of my wife.
о тебе.
He's got tons of ideas, which is really important for manager. And this makes him really active. He knows how to motivate, to make people want to work a lot and achieve results.
Перед тем, как прийти вообще к
Before working for Vlad, I came to his website and saw a phrase.
за качество.
I've placed my reputation on the quality of my product.
Что не нравится,
If you don't like something, you can return the product, but we won't be working together anymore.
фраза, она
This kind of phrase means that he's totally sure about his
очень
product.
уверена в своем продукте. То есть, значит, человек знает,
He knows
что делает,
what he does.
и это действительно
And it's just like that.
я верю
I
в
believe in
качество
quality of our product, and that's good for our clients.
пользу, нашему клиенту.
Для меня лучшее признание — это
Best thing for me is when one buys my machine. I'm proud of myself at this time.
и они отмечают нас на
They
сделке.
even remind us in tattoos. Wow effect in effect.
Купил машинку, и именно продуктивность, скорость.
A tattoo machine is the whole world for me right now.
Все. Это я
I got that just some time ago. Before, I did it because it was more fun than making tattoos. Now, machines are my business, my life, my hobby.
Это и бизнес, это и предпринимательство, это и хобби. Это реализация моих...
The realization of my ambitions.
Наш такой достаточно агрессивный маркетинг. По сути, это реализация всех моих хотелок и, в принципе, ну...
From the point of finance, in 5 years the market will be so strong that I'm thinking of buying myself a helicopter and maybe a 2-deck yacht.